Hello guys, I hope you're doing well today. Back into trading the ES, the ES crazy ES, which the last week or so, or 2 weeks, or even more, has been crazy with the moves and very volatile. So this is another day. Before I talk about my hypos, I tried earlier today to take a couple of trades around this place. If you see. Because that was a taper bomb again from China, announced that we're going to implement 84% increased tariffs on the US products. We showed some acceptance here, and then we just blipped above, and I thought that would be a continuation to this level, but immediately there was no continuation, we just pulled back, and I got taken out, and I tried the same again on this candle after showing some acceptance here. And I was taken out for a second time, and that was my trades for today so far. That was another tape bomb from the US announcing that we are willing to go into the table with China and talk about the tariffs. There was also a lot of building a base, a lot of choppy action around here at the bottom, just below the yesterday's previous day low. We could say it was kind of like of a failed breakout, to be honest. I saw this happening, but I'm not willing to participate in any trading here, as we saw there's a lot of choppy action. Someone could trade this range or this range. In theory, yes, but if there wasn't like this choppy action, so I try to avoid it. So basically, coming into the opening soon, let's talk about our hypos. Let's see our high time frame hypos. Now, just give me a second. So these are high time frames. We saw on the yearly there's been some acceptance above the yearly previous DVA high of the 2023. That could mean something. After this acceptance, we may try to test again 5260s, but not willing to enter now. I'm going to talk when I'm willing to trade. I'm willing to enter around the 50s, 5076 or so. Yeah, about if you see above that level, I'm willing the breakout of this range. You see there's a range here, this is the breakout of this range to the highs. That's on the yearly side. Quarterly wise, we see that these flips here down, that was stopped by the fourth quarter of 23, that's the VWAP. And now we're just ranging about at the border level, at the DVA high. On the monthly, we see again this one is in conference with this previous VWAP of the November 23. Again, we saw some acceptance here, which traded up to the monthly VWAP, and then we pulled back. So any longs I'm gonna take, I'm gonna leave a runner just in case we come back into and test into the monthly VWAP, which is around here. I'm gonna mark it as well. It's 52.88. Actually, let's mark it now, just in case I forget later. Okay, so it's 50, 52, 88, 52, 88, and 25, and that's the monthly VWAP. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's in case of the highs. That's the monthly, and then weekly we can see it dip down, build the base, try to cross the VWAP, but it couldn't. Now we hit that base again, which was the base I showed you before, just below the previous day low. But we found the weekly VPOC here. Yeah, so the weekly is around here, the weekly VPOC. Yeah, we couldn't break that. Now we're just hovering around below it, sorry. I'm gonna mark this as well, just in case. So that's weekly VPOC, and that's on 5013 and 75. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so basically I'm gonna enter longs when we cross above the weekly VWAP, and especially when we cross this level above the 5081. And I'm gonna aim for this level here. So coming into the all these levels, I'm gonna, as you know, I've already marked them on the my high time frame chart, which I'm gonna show you now. So that's the one. So here we see yesterday's action, and the overnight came here, building a base. Now we're just ranging at the base. You see how it well reacted to the yearly previous DVA high, which I showed you before. And probably that's the basis, that's the range was building like overnight. So according to the highs, as I said before, I'm going to be looking to enter around after the recovery of 50.75, which is around here, but because we have this level, probably I'm going to be looking to enter around this area. Yeah, around this area, I'm going to be looking for longs. And again, aiming for from here up to here, let's say here, so it's like around 171 points. Of course, I'm not going to take them all this. I'm just going to take high time frame to high time frame, and then I'm just going to leave a runner. The tricky part is because this volatile market is not allowing to put 2 micros because of the risk included. So I'm just going to leave a runner since the beginning and see how it's going to pan out, depending of the price action. On the short side, I'm going to be looking to short from here, but here we have I'm going to show you the weekly lows and the Sunday lows from the gap down, if you remember. So I'm not sure if I'm going to participate here, but probably definitely I'm going to participate for shorts below here. This is a very tricky area. Or I'm going to take from longs here if we have a failed breakdown. So I'm going to show you now what I'm going to what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's my intraday chart. So basically, what I was talking about is here's my list. It's the overnight low. Just below it is a Sunday's low and the weekly low. So we have two significant lows and one less significant low, which is the overnight low. So what I'm going to be looking, if I go long from here, it's going to be after we flush down a recovery. So we're going to do a failed breakdown either here or here. If we dip below and we keep below the weekly low or the Sunday's low and we do like this, then I'm going to be shorting. That's in this area. On the long side, as I said before, I'm going to be looking around to enter around the 50-90s. So it's about here. As I said, I put notes as well. Recovery can trigger long, but not this one. I'm going to be looking to enter around here, 50-80s. I have this as a target 1, this as a target 2, and higher this as a target 3. If we go on the long side. So the market has just opened with a massive volume, and I'm going to show my high post now just to have it for my records. Let me show you now what I meant. So this is what I meant basically. Enter higher above this level, aiming for the highs here, the monthly VWAP. And here I'm gonna be going long only if we do a failed breakdown either on the yearly previous DVA high or these levels here, which is this is the weekly and the Sunday's lows. Or I'm gonna be shorting if we go below the quarterly previous DVA VWAP, which is basically yeah, this one is below the major lows. So I'm going to be shorting below the major lows and the quarterly VWAP here. So that's my plan for today. So far, we came here, we found the overnight low, we held below it, and we just ranged again to the highs, suggesting we did a higher low, suggesting that this one is going to break at some point. But yeah, we'll see how it's going to go. Now at the point we have to wait. Just gonna show you. Okay, so this is my intraday chart. So basically we have to wait now. We see there are some sellers trying to hold the price down, but I think due time they're gonna fail. As I said, I wasn't interested in getting participated in this range, even though it looked okay afterwards, but we know it's a choppy area, so I didn't want to participate. So we're just waiting for things to clear above here somewhere. I put an alert as well. So it's around this level. So we're just waiting now. We're just waiting now for the markets to clear this range and find a direction for the day. Normally, after these huge ranges, ES wants to go sideways, uh, which works as a which works as a relief. But in this volatile markets, basically we see like a massive big pong of hundreds of points. So I don't think we're gonna do any relief day today. And just to see how ES works for a long time now, I'm just gonna show you my other high time frame chart. So we see what happened here. And we see here we came to these levels. We held, created the base, then we squeezed up to the monthly VWAP, then again down. But the market is finding very difficult now. In theory, what market does is go squeezes, which it did, and creates newer lows. So if the pattern continues, we expect these lows to break and go lower. If the pattern changes, and then we may look something like building a range and doing like this kind of like massive ranges. I think all this what we're doing now, we're just building a big base here, so we can just pop up. It's pretty straightforward scenario, but because the market is very volatile, you need to be perfect in the entries, or you're gonna get stopped out very fast. So we see now this is the highs of this base. Volume is extreme now. You see this bar, how much volume produced. Try to break now the stops from the range, the sellers, which are count here. Here is the overnight high. We're about to break it at some point. And we're getting to the area where I'm going to be looking for longs. The pattern of the volume of this candle suggests that there's going to be more to it. I'm not entering now. It's a bit too early because we have the overnight highs. But the volume suggests it's gonna go way far. As I said, I'm waiting to, you see this, so this is the previous day, I think. Yeah, this is the previous day volume area lows. So since we enter the volume area lows, we're entering into the 70% volume value area of the previous day, which you can use in our benefit to take some longs. Now we're just breaking the highs of the overnight highs was this green line. Okay, market is about to break now. Let's see. We may not see a pullback until here, so as soon as we cross these levels, I'm just gonna enter. We're entering now the volume area of yesterday's value area. We expect some sellers here. Let's see, the candles are really strong. No pullbacks, no nothing since we broke that area. If we get accepted inside and we're covering what's gonna enter, our end target is about the yesterday's value area high, which is about 52.40s, if all goes well. Yeah, 52.40, somewhere around here. That's our target 3. So we're just doing like a small pullback. 28 points, small pullback, but yeah. We see now the price is retesting the overnight highs. Got some rejection from the value area. I think seeing some relief pullback is going to continue. We see price, it couldn't break above the range so far. That's like a pullback, and we'll see if it's gonna try again. So let's see, Adam Mancini just tweeted and says, at AM provided today's entry, the 49.45 reclaim. Here, this one. 49.79 was this one. It says hit. So this he traded from here until here. So first target 50.25 hit. Yeah, it was this one. And the third is 50.75. It was almost there. So basically, Martini decided to enter here. The failed breakdown of the previous day low. So basically, he entered, I guess, around here, took some profits one to here, and then he left a runner. I personally decided not to enter this area because I got burned in the past. Here you see the superior. So I'm just waiting now to see. We see we broke below this level. Let's see if we're gonna reclaim it. We are still within the range, so that's why I'm not entering. Otherwise, I was thinking of going into this pullback, but we're still below the overnight high and below the yesterday's value area low. So I'm just waiting to see some acceptance around here, and I'm gonna be entering along. The only reason I'm not entering, as I said, is the overnight highs, which may cause the price. Ideally, the price will do this, but there is a chance because in the overnight there are some bearish levels here. Price may do this. You know what I mean? Go down. So I'm not sure. I'm just waiting to break these levels, and then I'm gonna be entering. I don't think it's gonna do the first scenario. It's gonna go down, but in any case, I want to see them breaking before entering. Especially here, if it breaks this one around here, I'm gonna be entering. I'm gonna have this one as my target, my first one. We'll take it from there. Which is a decent target. Is let me see how many points. If I enter here, I'm taking this one. Is around 45 points. It's decent. So let's see. If I enter here as I plan, I'm gonna put my stop loss. No, not on this. This around here. And if I take here is almost two RR. But as I said, I'm gonna go with one micro, which I plan to hold for a long time for maximum positions. Because as I said, I'm willing to hold it until here, basically, just above here. Yeah, somewhere here. Here, here's gonna be my target 3. If we hit my target 3, it's gonna be a good 5R trade. Let's put also some Fibonacci to see how it's gonna go work out. Fibonacci from the previous swing towards the level we want to go out. So I plan to get out around here. Here possibly. Which is 4.6 hours, it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. So this is some pullback, which let's see if it's gonna break now, or we're gonna see another pullback. I'm gonna be marking my entry point, which is about here. Okay. I probably may hold it to the previous swing. So if I put an entry here, it's gonna be 65 points, it's gonna be massive. So we'll see. think if we break these bearish levels, the value area and the overnight, then it's gonna go smoothly. We're already about to break the range. We're just testing now the weekly VWAP. If it breaks above, I think we're clear to enter. We're just 5 points from the weekly VWAP. So the VWAP is 5062. Yeah, it's just about, yeah, the weekly VWAP is here basically. We're just testing it now, the weekly. And it's gonna mark, if we break above the weekly VWAP, it's gonna mark the breakout from the range. So we're just waiting to see now. That's why we see there's a confluence of bearish. This is the value area low of the previous day, and it's also the weekly VWAP. So that's why it's hard to break. Yeah, this is a very bearish level now. That's why. I think it's gonna break because we don't see any major pullbacks. I think it's gonna break. It's just gonna take some time to trim the stops. So yeah, if all goes well, we're aiming for a 4-hour trade. We'll see how it's gonna go. Today I was thinking of implementing, instead of managing the trade level to level, I'm gonna be managing target to target. So if I enter here, I'm gonna be waiting my break even after we break above to raise it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now we got some rejection of the weekly VWAP. I think we're about to break it now. Let's see. Okay, we are entering, just lowering our stops below here. I'm not sure what happened now. It seems I got stopped out before I even I got stopped out before I even tried to modify my order. What the heck is going on? Okay, I think I did this time correctly. Let's see. The price action looks okay so far. Okay. Okay. You see, we entered according to our plan and to criteria. So whatever happens from here, either win or lose, we're still okay. It was a good risk to put on, as we say. So we're looking to 2R now, because I put a little bit more risk before this VWAP, before the swing. Okay, looks okay so far. Okay, I'm gonna close this one. For some reason, I don't see my value area point here. I don't know where it's gone. Just gonna close my position to protect any pullbacks. And I'm gonna see, I'm gonna be entering again to see some clear acceptance now. Because now we may do a major pullback to the downside here. And that's a lot of points. So just to protect myself, I'm gonna be waiting for this pullback to finish. Probably it's a minor pullback, but I just want to protect the downside. Because in this market is very difficult to trade. As I said, ideally I want to be entering here, but we were just below the overnight loss. I didn't want to risk anything. But that would be a nice position here. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what it wants to do now. If we test and hold this level of DVA high, and I see it's holding and reversing, I'm just going to be entering here. Because I think what it wants is a big relief bounce to the DVA high to continue higher. Which is basically like this. Maybe it wants to do like this. So it's going to be one. You see, that's why I got out early. So just to protect the downside. Because this one, the stop loss of the previous swing was very long. So I just had to decide to exit early. So we have another chance to enter. That's the thing. With this crazy volatility, it can stop you out really fast. Yeah, we just basically blipped above the VWAP and we just rejected it. So that's a rejection from the VWAP we see now. Basically, we're just now waiting to see where the price is gonna get rejected from the DVA high, which aligns with this level now, which is now bullish, or it's gonna continue to the downside again for a deeper dive. So that's what we were just want to see. Either acceptance here or price acceptance. We can either see something around time acceptance and then go higher, or we can see some price acceptance go high and just reclaiming the overnight and entering here. So basically we want this to go just above here. Okay, let's see. It's 30 points. Okay, let's see, the volume is thin as we see now, but that doesn't mean that the price can move higher. Okay, we see volume coming now, getting rejected. That's the overnight high. So we're gonna see some choppiness around here. Let's I entered a bit rashly here. I should have waited for a second candle to develop, but let's see. It shows some kind of form of acceptance. So I'm going to count on that. We see price can't break again the overnight high for some reason. Uh, let's give it some more time because I see the volume is coming. It's positive. The delta is positive. So let's see. I think that would be my last trade for today. Uh, if it works, okay. If it doesn't work, that's okay too. Thinking retrospectively, I think I should have done with this trade what Mancini did, the reclaim of this previous day low, hitting the base. I was here, I could take it, but I decided not to. He was in and out fast, so basically he took out the first trade here and he left a runner. And he could probably take the runner here or here, probably here. Yeah, probably I'm gonna be taken out. So we see the trade, that trade didn't work. The highs failed to break above the overnight high and the weekly VWAP. So we see some rejection here. The VPOC is around here now, so we may see the VPOC holding the price. I may think another long if we go to the lower of the range here again and we test this lows. I may think to enter again. But that was a very nice clear setup because you can see how price holds here for probably an hour or so. So now it's testing the VPOC. Usually the VPOC holds, to be honest. It's a strong point reference point. But it's not a very good. It turned out it's not a very good level to get engaged there. Okay, so this is gonna be waiting here. Let's see how it's gonna go now. It seems like the sellers ECS are getting absorbed, but the delta is still negative. They're just getting absorbed. And I'm not sure if I want to enter again in the same area. I'm just going to be waiting to see if there's going to be another opportunity. You see, there's a lot of sellers here. They can't let the price go anywhere. You see, there's a choppy action there, but there's some kind of acceptance. We've been there for 5-10 minutes. It seems there's some kind of form of acceptance at this point. That's why I'm going to be entering another long. It's a bit risky because we're still below the overnight high, but at least I'm in a better position than before. And I see the buyers are pushing. So let's see what's going to turn out. It's still a good trade if it turns out it's 2.7. Let's see, it's getting very tricky now. It's a very choppy area. Because I was expecting this area to be a little bit more clear. especially when we broke above the overnight high. But it can go in, can go any higher. So it seems that there are some buyers there that are willing to hold the price. And let's see. So we had that second retest at the same level. So you see there's a level here. I'm not sure what level it is. So there's a level here. We'll share the price for 3 times retest. And let me see which level it is, if it corresponds to something, because I'm very curious. This is a 50-14. Yeah, that's exactly the weekly VPOC that held the price down there. So the weekly VPOC held the price for a third test now. And let's see who's going to be stronger, the weekly VPOC or the weekly VWAP, which is about here. Yeah, generally the weekly the weekly VPOC is quite strong. I've noticed in the past as well. We need to give some time now to break the overnight high and the weekly VWAP. So it may take a while. It seems that the weekly VWAP holds so far, which is a good point. But we need to give it some room to breathe. Okay, the price is spending a lot of time, an awful lot of time in this range. So we are an hour from the opening. Uh, and we haven't seen any major action with the open. The open happened around here, and so we'll be ranging 1 hour within this range. So we'll be ranging in 80 points range only, and we are just an hour with the opening. Just battling between weekly VPOC and weekly VWAP so far. And that happens if you don't trust your instincts and if you don't trust Mancini. Because Mancini has been trading 2025 for years, yes, and he's been taking only failed breakdowns like this one. Uh, and he's been trading, yes, yeah, for his 2025 years. And he's been taking only, as far as I noticed, he's been taking clean setups like you see this one. He's taking only failed breakdowns. He takes profits fast around profit here and here, and then he just leaves a runner. So he doesn't even bother engaging, these levels. He just leaves a runner. If they come true, he takes a profit. If he doesn't, he still has the profits from the early stages of the breakout, the failed breakout. Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you say I'm going to listen, he's right. Sometimes you make your own judgment. Sometimes your own judgment proves wrong, and you learn a few things. Like today, me, I thought it would be choppy, but just take, standard profits at certain levels mechanically, and that's it. This is more like discretionary trading, but we have to turn out ourselves sometimes mechanical in certain setups, like here. And then you say you just leave a runner if it pans out okay, but you don't enter, at this level, which are very, very, very difficult to trade. It's just basically like me, if you trade like these levels now, you basically, want to asking for troubles, you know what I mean. Uh, the one thing I'm counting is that it shows a big time acceptance in this level, which basically builds a base. So this time shows acceptance from 9:48 until 10:20 is almost like 45 minutes, or at least 30 minutes, building a base here. It shows some time acceptance, but let's see how it's going to pan out. I'm still holding my trade with a bit wide range below the weekly VPOC. At least if the trade pans out okay, we're going to get a 2.7R, which probably is going to get us to break even for today, but we'll see how it goes. It's basically 2R, 2.1. I have just updated now. This 2R is alright. decent profits. And then when we get there, I'm just gonna trail it and see how far it can go. We may because all this action, it builds a big volume and a lot of energy. So when it breaks out, it's going to be very violent. We may see like a big candle forming here. And another thing I learned today is no matter what you've seen before, like choppy action here, no matter what you've seen, the failed breakdown is a failed breakdown. So it's very reliable. So you see here what it gave. It gave approximately it gave approximately 50 points just to the DVA high. So in theory, you can enter here or even at the VWAP here above the reclaim of the level and still take 50 points profit. And then you can leave a runner, and if it pans out, fine. So failed breakdowns, they're gonna work no matter what you've seen before, choppy action or whatever. They seem to be very reliable. Personally, I just need to trust them a little bit more. We're just pushing to the weekly VWAP again. It is 5081. No, sorry. Yeah, so basically the VWAP is around, sorry, the VWAP is around here now, 5066, 5063 basically. Yeah, the VWAP is around here now. I'm just testing the VWAP for a third time now. Uh, I'm leaving a little bit loose the trade so far because we may see some pullbacks before we actually break the VWAP, some more pullbacks. So I'm just holding the trade for now. Because the price really wants to break the VWAP and the volume is sustainable. So I see the buyers, I keep pressing. So let's give the buyers some more time and some room and see how it goes. Yeah, we still see some reactions from the VWAP. but not major, they're getting absorbed. Okay, let's see, I'm gonna go for another test. This price action is insane. We've been literally an hour and price is still like in a small range. There's no decision. But in this occasion, I'm gonna trust the buyers because what price wants now is to squeeze higher, is to squeeze the sellers. And the sellers are standing at the VWAP. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to go short from here. So I'm gonna close my position now. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to take the short. Or at least clear, or take the short from here, or at least I'm waiting to clear this area to see it's gonna break above the VWAP or what's gonna do like. Because all the sellers now they're counting on VWAP rejection. What are they counting now? That the squeeze has been ended, so they're gonna short it from the VWAP, which is 5066 is right here now. Right here, that's the VWAP. So here there are a lot of sellers standing down. We also saw a lower low here. Sometimes the VWAP can be useful, but also can be a bit, you know, just drawing the wrong conclusions because it has been weighed down, you see. So it's not very trustworthy in this occasion. Let's try it like this now. So this is choppy, so I decided to get out without any losses on this one. And I have on my left screen the high time frame, so I'll be watching all this. And if we drop below the VPOC, I'm going to be shorting. But so far, there's no decision been made, so I'm just waiting. I think it's gonna clear in the next half an hour or an hour. It's sometimes taken in the past, maybe even 2 hours for the price action to clear a little bit. So now the probabilities are more on the downside. As we see before, we tried to push higher, we couldn't. So the probabilities is for the VPOC to fail at some point. Let's see the VPOC, how long it's gonna last. That's the thing, because the high time frames at the moment it looks to be bullish, but the lower time frames like the VPOC and the weekly VWAP, they want to be bearish. Okay, let's see. And the thriller continues. There's a lot of absorption at the VPOC. And even though there's a lot of time acceptance, we see it can't push any further to the highs, and that's something to notice. In any case, there's a lot of choppiness around. Let me show you how it looks on the high time frames as well. So this is the high time frames. So you see this area had marked as a bearish zone. So we have the monthly PhD VWAP on the December of 23. So we have you saw these SMAs that's along the weekly VWAPs as we saw that trying to push higher lower, but all the high time frames they try to push higher and there is a choppy area. Here is the weekly VWAP which held the price, and that's the weekly PhD VA low which held the price previously. So basically we just now have to wait for this area to clear and either take a long from here or takes from a short from the failure of this extraction down, probably around here in this area, which is approximately, if we short from here, have like a here, let's see, if we go up to this point, it's around 100 points. We also the value area high here, how we held the price. It's like a confluence of levels. Okay, we can shut the market now. Buy limit to the bottom of the structure. And what I'm gonna do is just gonna trade my other screen now. Okay, I think you can see my screen now. Turn all this annoying execution brackets. Okay, yeah. I was tempting to go with 2 micros, but didn't want to go with 2 just in case we have a pullbacks. So I'm tempting to hold a little bit more. So this is my level. The price is falling rapidly, as I was expecting. The structure here just failed. And what I'm gonna do now, not now, maybe a bit later, is go to break even and hopefully we're gonna do a big job now. Around here is also the weekly DVA low, this level. I haven't marked it. We have three confluences here. Here we have the SMA to Hagent, which I expect to find some resistance, some support, sorry. There's another possibility of price to go and do this, find to the SMAs and go and back test it. So we keep that in mind. Usually I trust my high time frames and they work perfectly. So I trust that price will test these levels. So I'm gonna bring my stop loss here. Actually, yeah, let's give it some more room. I got into break even. I'm gonna give some more room just in case it delays a little bit and wants to go downwards. So if all goes well, we may see, if all goes well, we see some absorption here. If all goes well, we may see price action going back to the base around here. Because here actually is the previous day low, so we may test this level here. Here's the previous day low. Okay, so it's happening what I was thinking. Just a small pullback at the SMA. Let's see. finding a little bit difficult to break the SMA. I think it's gonna break it. It just gonna take some time because there's some buyers there. We'll just have to wait and give it some more room. We may actually see in the end, if we break below these barriers, we may see price testing the lows of the yearly and continue the ranging, you know what I mean? That I was talking before with the opening, which may see some ranging. So we may see some price continue to test another time the yearly. By the way, the way to approach the market with a structure side, it has been proven quite reliable in the past. Like for example, like let's say we have this structure building here, which lasted for an hour. If it breaks from above, we'll go high. If we go breaks below, we'll just short it. It has proven very wisely. Has been proven very reliable. Or another structure like we had here. So we see this lasted for about 2 hours, and then we broke above, you know. And here was where I have the buy limit is the previous day low. Sorry, the previous day low. So when we get here, I'm just gonna be tight my stop a little bit. Have it a little bit loose now because I'm expecting to go here, which is my first target. Now we're finding a resistance support at the base of this structure, you see. But the volume keeps, yeah, is still high. There's no pullbacks or anything so far, so in any case, I'm gonna be ready and bring my stop loss to the previous candle here, just in case it decides to, to break it, so I can take some profits. It seems he wants to break it. There's some absorption there. Yeah, if it continues lower, that's fine. If I be taken out, I still get some profits. It's not major profit, but it's still like 20 points to be honest. So By the way, our entry was at a good point here, just below the weekly VPOC when we lost it. To be honest, let's see. Yeah, that wasn't in our directly hyper for today. I was planning to go short if we break below, but I knew if we lose the weekly VPOC, that would be a significant drop. Uh, but still, there's nothing much going on, to be honest, today. The price is very slow. Let's see if we can break the base of the structure and the 200 SMA. Okay, I was taking out with some profits. Yeah, we're still on the minus, but I had to protect some profits because if we go back, there's no point of losing profits. We may continue later, but you don't know that we may go like this, okay? But what if we go like this, just reclaim? You don't know it. So in any case, you need to protect some profits along the way. Now you see that there was a big rejection there now at the bottom of the base. Uh, bottom of the base is basically here. You see, which happened to be with the 200 SMA as well. So we did well on protecting the gains, which is just reversed completely. So we took $100 there. Now I'm just curious to see whether we're gonna test the bottom of the structure and go down, which is the weekly VPOC here, or we're gonna accept it all the way up now. To be honest, the market as it is now is it's not nice to trade. That would be a nice bottom to take, as I said. So far, our losses is above the daily loss limit. I don't keep a hard daily loss limit because in the past, I was in a move, I was in a trade. A the pullback hit my daily loss limit because it was very exact, and then just continue higher. So since then, I decided to keep like a mental, in my mind, a daily loss limit. So now after this win, we're just above the daily loss limit. Uh, I'm gonna be waiting. Actually, I'm gonna put some alerts. I'm gonna end up the screen and put some alerts, and I'm gonna do a break, and I'm gonna do other stuff. And my alerts is gonna be above this high. So if we break above this high, I'm just gonna put some alerts, and I'm gonna put another alert again if we hit the previous day low. And then I'm going to decide whether it goes up. We may do another failed breakdown. We may see price coming down and getting up again. Or we may see the price coming even lower at the weekly low end. So just this scenario of interest and just put some alerts. So Margini got stopped. He got the target 50.75 as he said, which was, yeah, exactly here. He concluded the trade and he says, yeah, he says exactly what he said at the 8 a.m. He says 49.45. So 49.45. So the reclaim of this level, he said, would trigger the long with 50.75 target. It's basically, yeah, 50.75. And he says 49.10 works as support now. 49.10. Yeah, so that's a support, yeah. Yes, 49 works as support. Also, 50.25 works as support. Yes, we know that. Just gonna put it away. Yeah. So we have this support, have this, and we have the 49.45. 49 and this. Okay. So these levels, they work as supports. Also, someone can see a failed breakdown of this level. I think so. If you see the support here, if we did like a failed breakdown, if we reclaim it, in theory, I could go long here. So for me as I see now, there's nothing much to do. Put an alert just in case we break to the upside, the range, and I put some alert as well. I'm just gonna move it, and I'm gonna put some alerts on this level. We break out, we may test it again and reclaim it or lose it. So put two significant alerts. I'm not interested in getting involved in between trades. So yeah, I'm gonna do a break, get some lunch, and we'll see if I get an alert which may come to the laptop, and I will update you maybe late in the evening if I have an additional trades. Okay, so that's it from now. You have a nice day, a nice continuing of the session.